Awesome brawler. What up?
Amazing.
You're in. You've made it. You've done it. You've ascended. Hello? Have you ascended? Uh-oh.
Hello? Hello? Hello, I'm
yeah.
here.
Hey, what up?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
Wait, can you hear me or you listen to the stream?
I just turned off the stream.
Okay, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, okay. What's up, buddy?
I want to talk to you about responsible platforming.
Okay, what about it?
So, you believe that everyone should generally do everything they can so that people don't get hurt, right?
Yeah. Generally, yeah.
And you add some like level of responsibility towards public figures because they have a lot of influence, right?
Yeah.
Like, for example, you don't joke about like trans people or black people or women because it could lead to them like getting hurt.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, well, I want to talk to you about an industry that helps people and hopefully convince you to do something about it.
An industry that helps people or hurts people?
Hurts people.
Oh, okay. Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Well, what is it?
I'm getting my script ready.
Okay. Hello?
Okay, so the meat industry harms people in like 3 ways.
Wait, what industry?
The meat industry.
Oh.
Okay, so it harms people in like 3 ways.
Uh-huh.
The first way is through slaughterhouse workers. Second way is through animal diseases, and the third way you probably heard of is climate change.
Yep.
So like in slaughterhouse working, there's like a lot of physical danger. You have to do a lot of heavy lifting and repetitive work, and like 25% of the meatpacking workers are injured, and then they become ill each year.
Okay.
And according to
Wait, before we do this, because I'm not going to disagree with your final point, I'm probably in favor of legislation that would end like animal agriculture. Like, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, do you want me to explain how it hurts people, or do you want?
Well,
me
I mean,
to,
I already agree that it does. I think the climate change arguments alone are like good enough. 2 and 4, okay, dude.
Okay, cool. And then, so to get people like to vote for stuff, you have to like spread the idea first. And I think a really good way to do that was for you to go vegan.
Fuck that. It's not worth it for me. I don't care that much about it.
Wait, well, you just agreed earlier that people should generally do what they can so people don't get hurt.
Yeah, but like, I don't know if like, I think that like I platformed enough vegan arguments that like if you want to go vegan, you've seen the arguments and ideas for it. I think I've actually made a lot of people in my audience go vegan. But personally, like food and all of that is like a really big part of my life, and I'll vote for policies for it. I'll advocate for people to vote for policies for it. But like, it's a big like sacrifice for me personally to give up meat.
How is it a big sacrifice?
Because eating and food and meals and entertainment and all that is like a really big part of my life, and I would like be suffering like quite a bit to like give up meat.
How?
By not being able to eat like good ass fucking food. What do you mean?
But you agreed earlier that people generally should do what they can, so that people don't suffer. You know.
Sure, but I don't think that like
and you agreed to like not joking about like trans people or black people or women. Like
yeah, but like as
somebody
like
should not do that because somebody can make the same argument that you just made. Like, oh, I love joking about black people, trans people. You know, it makes me money. I have to make a huge sacrifice.
Wait, hold on. Fuck this piece of shit. Okay, wait, sorry, say that again?
Right, so earlier you agreed that people should generally do what they can so that other people don't get hurt. And I asked you about joking about like minority groups as an example because you don't want them to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody can make the same argument that you just made with eating food because, oh, I love joking about trans people, black people, women, you know, free speech, you know, it would hurt my income to do so. It's just a huge sacrifice for me.
Well, because I think that like by doing that, I think that I can cause like a measurable harm like right there that I like directly care about. Like that would be like a bad thing right there. Like I would directly be engaging in either the direct harm of those people or leading like pretty directly to it. Whereas for like animal agriculture, like my impact...
Yeah, you were directly causing...
but my overall impact...
like the defunding of that industry, and you have a large following. You have hundreds of thousands of followers. You can influence a lot of people.
Yeah, and I do with arguments. Like my overall impact on like animal agriculture is going to be like really, really, really small if I personally just become a vegan. Like maybe you can make an argument for me lying about being vegan.
Yes, but it's not that small as you think, because you're a public figure. You have hundreds of thousands of followers. You have millions of views. You have
but whatever.
And you're a pioneer of like
Sure,
Twitch streaming.
but it's not enough to offset.
Like, a really
it's not,
big.
Okay, it's not enough to offset like the huge loss that I would endure personally.
What huge loss? What are you
because
talking
meat is
about?
fucking good. There's a lot of good ass fucking food that vegans can't eat, and it's like a measurable loss to not be able to have that.
Yeah, you can still have food that tastes good as like meat.
No, the animal substitutes for meat fucking suck dick. They're really bad. They're not good.
Well, have you tried Beyond Meat?
Yep, and the Impossible Burger and everything. I sure have.
And the Impossible. Okay.
It's not good. It's nowhere near. It's okay. Like if I just want like a whatever burger, it's okay, but it's nowhere near as good as like an actual like juicy fucking like burger, sirloin or whatever. Or steak
I'm just saying, you're kind of contradicting yourself with your earlier
I'm not contradicting myself at all. It's the same thing with like when we argue about like.
You said people should generally do what they can so people don't get hurt.
Okay, hold on now. Okay, this is why I was hesitant to answer that question, okay? So when I say that people should generally do what they can to make it so people can't hurt, I'm going to have to amend that statement, okay? I know you're going to use it against me. Like when I say generally, what I mean is like within like a reasonable scope. So for instance, I don't think that people should donate every single dollar they have to save starving children in Africa. I don't think that's reasonable, okay? Or for instance,
can you repeat that last statement? Sorry, I was talking.
I don't think people should donate every single penny they have to like starving children in Africa, okay? Even though that would generally probably be a good thing. I don't think that's reasonable, right? Because it would be like
okay, I agree.
Okay, so like for instance, like I also am in favor of higher tax policy. I'm not going to donate more of my taxes to the federal government just for memes because I don't think it'll accomplish anything on its own. Same thing with like going like vegan. I don't think that going vegan on its own is going to necessarily like do enough to make up for like the large offset of personal losses for me. That's why I'm not going to do it. Like I'll advocate for vegan positions ethically, and I'll say that for like animal agriculture and shit and environmental stuff, we should vote against it. But personally, going vegan represents enough of a measurably bad change in my life that I'm not willing to do it just because I might influence a few more people to go vegan.
Okay, so you addressed two issues. The first one is practicality. I agree with you that people are not able to like don't donate like every cent of their dollar to like poor African children. That's just not a reasonable and practical take. Which is why going vegan is cheaper. It's not expensive as like eating meat, so you really have nothing to lose and everything to gain. It's better for the environment. It's healthier for you.
Wait, how do you say I have nothing to lose but anything to gain? I like eating meat. Like meals are a big part of my life.
And the second part, you addressed like you're in favor of raising taxes like policies. So people, but you don't agree like people should directly donate their money to the government, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the difference is that Americans generally overwhelmingly already support raising taxes on the wealthy. Whereas veganism is still a really fringe movement. You have first to get the policy.
Sure.
Like,
and I've paid like
you have to spread the idea first, and you can do that as a public figure. With
and I have. I think I've done that like
with
quite
millions of views.
Right, okay,
like, come on, dude.
I got it. All right, you have anything else for everybody?
Well, let me think. So I still don't get what you're disagreeing at. You agreed that people should generally do what's practicable and reasonable, so that people don't get
and
hurt.
I would argue that me giving up meat
like
is
no
not a
loss,
practical, reasonable thing. There is a loss. I like meat.
No, it's cheaper. It's healthier for you.
It's not. First of all, it's not cheaper. That's not true. Firstly, secondly,
yes, it is. I have data. I have data. You want me to show you?
Okay, even if it was cheaper, I don't care. Okay, I'm almost positive wrong.
Now you're just trying to find every excuse.
No, I'm not. I already have my one that I need, but it's not enough for you. But I'm pretty sure the cheaper is wrong. But like, even if cheaper is right, I don't want to give up meat.
It's not.
Okay.
I just offered you to give you data, and you easily backed away. Come on, dude.
Okay.
Like you already agreed earlier that people should do, or you added a second condition that it has to be reasonable and practicable. And veganism is cheaper, is better for the environment, and it's healthier. You have nothing to lose, everything to gain.
Okay. Okay. I love you, buddy. Okay, it's been fun. All right. You're completely not engaging with the fact that like because you're just like I don't know if you have like a hardcore script prepared for this, but like me not eating meat, like me not eating meat, like you're just like you don't care about that, like, and I understand why you personally don't, but like
yes, but you agreed your example that people can't donate money to Africa. It's just not practicable or reasonable.
Why? No. It's not that it's not practical or reasonable. It's that it represents like a huge personal harm to them, and I don't think it accomplishes enough good to justify the personal loss.
There is no huge personal harm.
There is though. I really like eating meat. That's a huge personal harm to me. Is not eating meat anymore.
What, really?
Yes.
You really? What if I really like making fun of trans and black people and women? Like you can make the same argument against for that.
Okay, and if you were living
exactly.
No, but the difference is that in the society that we have today, right? Like these things are not things that are these are like hotly contested issues. So like for instance, I might make like the same argument like 500 years ago. Hold on one second. I might make the argument like 500 years ago to be like, if somebody's saying like, oh, well, should I be pro or anti-slavery or whatever? And if some guy decides to be anti-slavery, it causes him to be ostracized from his whole family. Like everybody hates him. He has no fucking life. He gets fired from his job, blah, 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 blah. Like in those cases, I would make the same argument, right? Where like if being anti-slavery carried with it like a massive personal cost or whatever, that was so much more than like just taking the more moral position or whatever. That's like, yeah, sure, this person, it's just like the person earlier that was talking about their job.
Does not compare to veganism. You don't like lose your family or like friends over it or ostracized from society.
Okay, I'm not saying that it compares. I'm not saying it's the same thing. It's a comparison, right? I'm saying that these two things are.
It's a very weak comparison because all you've said is like I really like eating meat versus.
Oh my god, no more vegans, dude. Holy shit, I hate fucking promos. It's so fucking cancer.
Jiminy Dragon person.
Yeah, go for it.
Welcome,
hey,
awesome
what's up?
brawler.
No, why? Get him out. I don't fuck this guy.
Wait, is it? He was.
Wait, why did you stop talking to me?
Because you're just running through the same fucking talking points over and over and over again.
Yeah,
no, I didn't. You failed to counter any of them.
I did counter it. The whole thing. The whole. No, bring it back in.
Okay, you had him in pulling next, sorry.
Okay, your whole argument is basically that like not eating meat doesn't represent any harm to me whatsoever because you don't give a fuck about eating meat. Like that's your whole argument. But I disagree. So like we're incommensurable.
My argument is that it has no practical or like reasonable harm to people. Your only reason was I like it and I demonstrated to you that can be used for like joking against trans people or black people or women. I just really like joking about minority people, you know? Well, why should I have to sacrifice like that? Like and then you went a whole tangent about like slavery of like people like being ostracized from their friends and family. Like what the fuck? That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. Just give me a minute to think about it. 1 second.
Okay. And meanwhile, I'll post the data about veganism being cheaper if you're still like, you know.
I don't care. It's not something that I really give a fuck about. It was just a minor point you brought up that I thought was incorrect.
So you can see that vegan is cheaper then?
No, I don't. I would have to look at it. But I don't really give a fuck about that right now.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not part of my argument. Okay, okay, I'm banging my line. Okay, where are we at? Tell me, refresh me.
I was talking to you about responsible platforming, and I'm trying to convince you that you can do something to where people wouldn't get harmed through the meat industry. And you agreed that people should generally do what's practical and reasonable so that people generally don't get hurt. And you extend extra responsibilities to public figures because they have a large influence, which you do. You have hundreds and thousands of followers, millions of views, yada, yada, yada. And I'm just saying, you have a big impact to go vegan, and it's not the same as like, oh, well, I support raising taxes. Well, supporting raising taxes is already like an overwhelming like majority support. you need to spread the idea first.
So the way that I view this is that if I engage in harmful behavior towards minorities, that I am causing like a direct contribution towards the harm of some people that is like directly, measurably like my responsibility. I don't believe that by engaging in consuming animal products that I'm engaging in some level of harm that if I were to not do it, it would compensate me for the amount of personal sacrifice I'm making to engage in that behavior. So for example, when it comes to the harming of like a minority person, I can say something that can directly lead to harm being caused to those types of people, right? Like if I do it, I make somebody feel bad, or I measurably decrease somebody's fucking life in a way that I think is really bad, and that's something that I don't enjoy doing. Or no,
That's indirectly, not directly. You don't directly like end their person's life.
And what? I didn't say anything about any life. If I call somebody like a tranny as an insult, I'm directly having like a measurably negative impact on that person.
Oh, okay. So just having an impact at all, not like directly killing them or.
Wait, what?
You're just saying that you just make an impact. That's all. You're not making an argument that you're directly like causing them harm, because that's not true.
Okay, I guess it depends on how you define harm, but I mean, I would argue that like calling somebody slurs or whatever is like a form of harming
you're
somebody.
not directly causing them to kill themselves.
I'm never. This isn't about killing themselves. Killing themselves isn't the only like kind of harm you can cause someone.
Okay, whatever harm.
Okay. So generally, yeah. Okay, not generally. Hold on, I'm saying too many random words. Okay, so I wouldn't call somebody a tranny because it's for me to not call somebody a tranny doesn't represent like a big loss in my personal like life. Like I can use other insults or I could not say those words, and by stopping that, I'm like directly, measurably helping somebody's life. Like I'm doing something that's not making them horrible or making them feel bad or whatever, right? Is that this is okay so far? Yes.
Okay, so do you have any data to back that up? That you're directly like harming
really?
them?
So I need to get you data
Well,
that calling
that's how
somebody
you
a
do
slur.
things, right?
Wait. I need to get data that calling somebody a slur like is a kind of harm. Is that what you're asking me?
Well, I generally agree with you, but like if we're going my argument, like I have data to back my stuff up, and I was wondering if you do.
We're on the philosophical part right now. We're not on the data part. I haven't disagreed with any of your data-driven claims so far, have I?
Okay, so philosophical argument. Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't think I've disagreed with any of your data claims, have I?
No.
Okay, so then focusing on the philosophical part, right? So if I were to change the way that I engage with animal agriculture, I don't believe that I'm making any significant like good contribution to the world. Like I don't think that I'm gonna like by me not doing it, there's some meat worker that's gonna like not have to work his job or something, or that like I'm like making a measurable impact on the environment. Not like in relation to how much I'm sacrificing in order to do it, which is giving up my massive enjoyment of consuming animal agriculture products. Does that make sense?
Okay, so let me get this straight. Well, let me summarize your whole argument. See if I'm not misrepresenting it. So you believe there's a difference between joking about minority groups and not eating animal products or meat products because you feel like you have an effect of like doing harm to people just by calling them a slur word, and you argue that you can just use other words, but like with meat products, you can eat other food.
No. So animal substitution products right now are not at a level where they are anywhere near a good enough substitution for actual animal products.
On nutritional value, yes,
not on nutritional value. That's not why we eat food. It's just for nutritional value, but on like enjoyment value.
Okay, well then, what if someone were to say, not joking about minority groups does not give you like the same like comedy value as like being PC? And Jordan Peterson would argue this, like I make 60K a month. You're causing a demonstrable harm to my income by not joking about the postmodern neo-Marxists and talking about how women just need to stay in the kitchen because they're happier.
Yeah, some people make that argument.
Yeah, and do you think that's a valid argument for joking against trans people? Or trans people within minority groups?
I mean, yeah, it can be, I think. But
you think it's a valid argument? Really? You're really going to make that argument right now?
No. I'm saying I think people can use it as an argument, but then I guess I would counter with that argument with the harm, again, that you're doing individually to society is, like, such that, like, hold on.
Yes, and the harm that the meat industry does to society is pretty bad.
Yeah, but like one person not eating meat.
Make the same argument for trans people and black men. Oh, one person.
Okay, never mind. Okay, just tell me my whole argument is. Holy shit! I can't even finish my point. What the fuck? I understand you're real passionate about fucking eating plants. Okay, but like.
All right, dude, you don't have to yell.
Okay, but like every time I start talking, you like fucking run off into something different.
Okay.
Okay, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
Are you?
I'm fine. Okay. So, as a comedian, right?
Yes.
On an individual level,
Yes.
right? You have full control over your comedy show, and you control whether or not you engage in acts that are harmful towards certain groups, right?
Yes.
And if you stop that act, like wholesale, if you stop that act, then that harm stops. Period. All that harm coming from you stops. Period. And that's like
Okay.
arguably like a measurable harm, right?
Sure.
That you're causing to people by engaging in those acts.
Right. Yes.
Okay. If you stop consuming animal products, like you have arguably little to no impact holistically on the animal agriculture industry. Like almost no impact
Yes, if we're
whatsoever.
talking about one person, but you're not just a random private individual. You're a public figure, and you already agreed that we extend like extra responsibility to public figures.
Sure.
You have
So I would
100,000
argue that
followers.
my responsibility. God damn it.
I didn't get kicked again, right?
No. So I argue that like my point of responsibility is that I advocate for like vegan policies in terms of like elected officials like enacting vegan policies the same way that I would argue for like higher tax codes. Like, and I think people should pay like more in taxes. But like my responsibility ends there. I don't think that I personally need to make a great sacrifice, even as a public figure, to have arguably no measurable impact on the environment or animal agriculture.
Okay, well, there's two ways I can respond to that. The first way I respond is that, you've already heard it, it's because raising tax policies already has overwhelming majority support in Americans.
Wait, how does that
And it
change?
just
What does
needs
that?
to get voted? Because there's a difference. Whereas veganism is a fringe movement, and first to get to enact policy, you have to spread the idea first, which you can do as a public figure with hundreds of thousands of followers, millions of views. That's the first response to that. The second response to that is fuck, I forgot.
Well, then I think I do enough to advocate for vegan related stuff by hosting the
Oh,
arguments.
yes.
So
Oh yes. So the second response was you're a public figure. You have the ability to influence a lot of people, and you keep strawmanning me saying, "Oh, well, one person going vegan is not going to affect anything." Well, yeah, no shit. But like,
Oh, no,
you-
in terms of
you
being
have- you
influential-
inspire a lot of people.
sure, but in terms of being influential, I feel like I've already done that. Like I've hosted like a bunch of vegan arguments. Like my ethical vegan arguments, I think would move most people towards being meat eating if they were being honest with themselves. Like
Okay, let's see if you're consistent in this. If you were trying to convince somebody to not joke about a trans person, black person, or a trans woman, like, okay, I already advocate for people to not joke about trans people, black people, women. Why do I have to do it?
again, I don't think it's a fair comparison to look at like me individually engaging in like a harm that I can stop like wholesale on my own coming from me versus.
But you can't stop it wholesale on your own. You're
But it
the
has
only- you're
zero
only stopping
impact on
harm
the
that-
industry as a whole.
when you're talking about like comedians, you only have influence over your audience. Okay, you don't have influence over every single like trans person or black person or women that get harmed, only through your audience. And you can do the same thing with the meat industry. You have an impact through your audience. It's not gonna like stop the whole industry. Just like not joking about minority groups. It's gonna stop
No, I
them.
don't, but it stops me personally from causing that harm from happening, which I think is a bad thing to do. I don't want to personally be in charge of like causing that harm. And if I stop doing something that I consider harmful like that, then I'm no longer causing that harm. I think that's better to not cause that harm.
Yes.
But me not eating
Yes.
meat isn't changing anything overall with like with like the level of harm that I'm causing in that entire systemic industry is like almost nothing. Like my individual.
Yes, you are. You're not funding the industry, and then you can convince other people to not fund the industry, and it'll spread the idea. And then
I'm already
maybe you'll
convincing
get, like, a
people to
final,
not
like,
fund
a-
the industry though, and I say it via like legislation. It's the only effective way to like get something like that done. Otherwise, it's not going to
Yes,
disappear.
dude. But this is the same logic as saying like, oh, I already convinced trans people and women to.
Except
not
it's
joke
not
about
because
people,
like
you know?
making fun of trans people is a different type of thing than just consuming meat. That these are like different actions, and they have like different impacts.
And I would say for the meat industry, this argument is a bit stronger because you have a direct impact because you're directly funding that industry. Whereas like joking, like it's a bit more like indirect. Like all the meme arguments, like, oh well, I didn't tell that trans person to kill themselves. They just
That
No,
you keep
get
saying
over it.
kill yourself like that's the only type of harm you can cause. Like if somebody doesn't kill yourself, you haven't caused harm.
Okay, I didn't. Okay, I didn't tell that minority group to like get harmed. I was just joking about them. You
No,
know?
no, I'm saying that
I
like
was directly causing it.
slurring somebody
Whereas
based
these
on them
people
being a
haven't.
minority figure in and of itself is a harm. Like that's intrinsically harmful.
That's not what I was saying. I'm just saying, with the meat industry, you have a lot more direct impact since you're funding that industry. You're not like funding like.
Yeah,
the
but my
industry of,
individual
like,
funding is
trans
meaningless.
people being-
You're,
What?
you're switching from like the public support argument now to like my individual behavior. My individual funding of that tax.
Because you keep doing it.
Okay.
You're like switching back and forth between like public support and like personal engagement.
I think that in terms of public support for vegan stuff, I think I support it publicly.
Okay.
Okay. Personally, though, I think I'm not vegan because I don't think personally that would make much of a difference.
Well, that's just not true.
Okay, you won the argument. I'm full on meat eater. I don't even advocate for public anymore. Never mind. Fuck all public vegan shit. I think you should just vote for animal agriculture. We don't have a responsibility for future generations. You're gonna be dead anyway, and it doesn't matter. Okay,
All right,
there
are
you
you
go.
gonna cry? Come on,
I'm not
dude.
crying. You got me. Did I change? I changed completely.
Like-
I no longer am going to make ethical arguments for veganism. I don't think you have a responsibility to future generations. If anything, I would say that actually the anti-natalist arguments are
so
pretty
you
strong.
think
We
joking
shouldn't
about
have
trans people, black
children.
people, and women are
I don't
okay
think we
then?
should have children at all. I think that having children is a demonstrable harm to those children because
Okay,
an
well, Destiny
anti-natalist who
just
force
made an
somebody to-
argument for joking about minority.
Yeah, there you
groups,
go. You
guys.
got it, dude.
know,
So you
be
can go for it
proud.
if you like to. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
be proud.
I love you, buddy.
Okay.
I must just be horribly irrational.
Yes, by definition, you are irrational.
That's where